All right. Please, your session number 3, date 12 of August 22, 2021. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين إنه خير الناصر ومؤمن. Uh, I've learned this greeting of the beginning of every discussion, speech, or lecture from my marhum Ustad Ayatollah Najabat. So I've been carrying out with me for the last 37, 8 years. So what I want, please request all of you, uh, we are having, I have got my sister and my cousin lady, both of them are infected. They are both in Iran and they're infected with corona. And nowadays, corona in Iran, this Delta one, the Delta version of it is very quite dangerous. But I want you, please, ask you kindly, those of you who can stay back after we finish our discussion for 10 minutes. We want to do a group dua, group prayer, which I tell you how to do it, how to perform it, and send our energy and our dua towards these two ladies, inshallah, with the hope of that they get shafa as soon as possible. Thank you very much for anyone who will stay back. And my last session, just quick, very quick summary was that I explained quickly that uh, Manazil al-Kamal, Darajatul Wisal. And then I explained that those Manazil al-Kamal are the stages of perfection. And the more perfection one is acquiring and attaining, the more the degrees of his proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes more. And uh, also I explained through bringing some verses of Ziyarat al-Jami, and I explained that our Manazil al-Kamal and our Visal is towards Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, and Imam's Visal is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I explained that some people might, as they might think that do we not have connection directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and is it true Imam? Yes, that is the case, but we all get connected to Allah eventually, and that is the, as I give the example of a stream of water reaching pouring into the bigger river, and bigger river pouring into the sea, and sea connecting to the ocean. So we all eventually get to the ocean, inshallah, but we go through certain mediums, and that is a totally a different topic. I didn't go too much into explaining how. I just brought supporting the verses of Ziyarat Jamia. That is an independent topic, which if it was there was interest in it, probably after Muharram or whenever, we can discuss that. But that's one of the best part of Ziyarat Jamia that I really love myself. My tonight talks is about, do I call it either misconception, misperception, or maybe just giving another name about of the name of the word Tasua? Why Tasua is called Tasua? If I ask all of you that what does Tasua mean, you would all say means the ninth, the night of ninths, correct? Or the day of ninths. And if I ask you what Ashura means, everyone would say the tenth. But is this the only meaning of this? And I want to bit of debate it, and I want to argue it and say it may not be the case, because if Tasu'am meant the ninth, how come the ninth of Zil Hajj is called Arafat, Yawm al Arafat, and the tenth of it is called Eid al Asha? Or why in other months like Zil Qa'dah, for the ninth of that month, nobody calls it Tasua if Tasua refers to the ninth of the part of the month. And they don't call the 10th Ashura. And also, similarly, If that was the way of naming the dates, number of days of a month, why they don't say Khamusa for the fifth, and why don't they say uh, Sadusa for or Sabua for the seventh? And as you see, where I'm trying to get at, that I'm saying this name is not necessarily meant Tasua and Ashura, are not necessarily meant to reflect the number of days of that particular month. If it was the case, then why the other months are not named after that? So, or I can bring another issue in that matter, saying that you all know that Imam Hussein alayhi salam, on the day of Taswa, they were going to fight. I mean, Ibn Sa'd and his army were going to attack Imam. And Imam talked, or either himself directly, I can't remember, or he sent an envoy to Ibn Sa'd and asked him to give them one more day so that they do worshipping and prayer and munajat with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he postponed that the fighting day to next day. So my question is, had Imam not done that, or had Ibn Sa'd not accepted that, so they would have fought on the day of what we call Tasua. And if they had fought and they have, I mean, the tragedy had happened, what would we call it? Would we say that Imam and companions were martyred on Tasua, or would we have said we would have called it Ashura? I would say, with my analogy, I would say if that had happened, we would have called that day Ashura, although it was the ninth. We wouldn't have called it Tasua. And we would have called the day before, possibly the day before. It means we would have called the 8th of Muharram the Tasua and the ninth the Ashura. Okay? Please, if anyone's mic is open, please close it so that your sound doesn't come this way. Anyway, so what is that? What is the meaning of Tasua? And as I said, how can we think it refers to, with the explanations and discussions that I just raised, how can that those 2 days are referring to number of days of the months? But let's see what it can mean. This is, of course, a paradigm, and it makes to me a lot of sense. And when I think about it, when it first time came, um, I could see there's a lot of sense in it. I've written it in my book of Karbala, and I have mentioned that there as well. Tasua, the root word of Tasua comes from Se'eh. What does Se'eh mean? Se'eh in Arabic and in Farsi, both. Se'eh means growth, expansion. And then Etisaa, yeah, that's the very root word. And then it comes to Etisaa. Etisaa also means expanding and opening. So what is opening? Why Tasua is called the day of expansion? If you get to see what Imam and his companion did, you would see that absolutely it was expanding. They were expanding their souls because they went into munajat and whispering and talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to Prophet and probably the previous Imams. And they started to talk. And so they were in the process of opening and stretching their soul. Basically, the whole the whole point of us being in this material world is doing ittisal to our soul. And remember that yesterday I read you a hadith. Just look at the hadith, and I want to give it a meaning for today. The hadith was from Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, who said, المتعبد بلا علم كالحمار الطاهون يدور ولا يبره. Yani a person who's doing ibadat without knowledge, he doesn't have ma'rifah. He's like kalhimar, is like donkey, tahune, yani the donkey which uh, which carries that two stones. You know that there are two stones for milling of the milling of the wheat in the older days. So they used to put an animal to carry this around. So basically, this hadith is referring to that. However much this donkey goes around and around, it doesn't go get anywhere. It's still at the same place. Basically, it is saying without ilm, you cannot expand your soul, because this it's not talking a distance, it's not walking a distance, it's walking and spiritually and a growth in the soul, is an expansion of the soul. Okay, and so that is to do with Etisaa. So we are here to do Etisaa of our soul. I'm seeing a bit of irregularity in Zoom, and that's why my focus sometimes goes there. So I just want to ask, is Sister Razia there? Sister Razia, can you disconnect and reconnect again, please, if you're hearing me? So the issue is the expansion of the soul, and how do you extend the soul? That's our today's topic. Last night I spoke. Thank you, Razia. Last night I spoke about uh, we have to sort of get close to Imam and do so that we can take ma'arif and take measures so that we can expand our soul. Those two were, one is ma'arif, one was attaining Asma'ullah, which I didn't go into the part of the Asma'ullah, I just mentioned it. So to understand this, I have to go into to introduce a concept. If to make the point more deeply understood, I need to give a concept which I want you to please listen to me carefully, because it may not come, if you have not heard it before, it may not, it's easy, but if it's first time, it may need a bit of attention and focus. There are two things that we have to understand the meaning of it. One is relative Adam and absolute Adam. In philosophical terms, there is no absolute Adam. Absolute Adam means pure non-existence. And if you can refer to anywhere as pure non-existence, immediately that's part of the existence. If it does exist somewhere in an external world, it is an existence. So there is only existence, right? So pure existence and non-existence. Non-existence does not exist. So now we explain about non-existence, relative non-existence, and pure non-existence, which I told you does not exist. What is relative non-existence? Relative non-existence is anything which is in the realm of potentiality. It does not exist in outside world. That is why it is called relative non-existence. So imagine you are somewhere or you're in your room or in your house or whatever, and you don't have a table. You have never had a table. And for the sake of practicality, you feel you need some surface on which you can hold your books or your iPad or your laptop, and you don't have that. So you think its surface alone is not enough. I need also some food, some legs for the surface to bring it up so that I can use it. So what happens? Then that comes to your mind. In your mind, that you have thought of a table, but this is still in alam aql of you, in your intellectual level, in your alam aql, has not come down to an external world. So that is relative. That is relative non-existence. That table is in the state of relative non-existence, or adam nesbi, or also they call it adam muzaf in some of the books. So in that Adam, in that realm of Adam and Nesbi, You, of course, when you bring it, when you want to make it, you bring it down to your imaginal level, and then you give it dimension, size, color, material. Then you bring it to the material world. You go and buy the material and then put them together, and you make the table. So there is, so that was there, but in the realm of potentiality, it was a potential table. It was not a table, right? So there is, this is the meaning of potential, as opposed to, this is meaning of uh, realm of potential, which is adame nesbi, which is uh, relative non-existence. So having the relative non-existence, that is something that the whole creation is working on that. The whole creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is based on that. When we went in some of the verses we read, I think in Dua Joshan Kabir is there as well. We read that Allah is creating from, bringing from Ashya min al Adam, right? That Adam is this Adam in speed. Why? Because Adam in mutlaq, or absolute Adam, that means when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to create something, his knowledge must apply to that thing that he wants to create, right? We cannot say Allah first create, then his knowledge gets over it. He first gets his knowledge over that, and then he creates it. So if that thing, whatever it is in the realm of absolute non-existence, how can Allah's knowledge applies to absolute non-existence when it doesn't exist? Because if it was something that applicable, the knowledge of Allah could have applied to that, then that would have not been non-existent. It would have been existent. So everything is, everything in the whole universe is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it is in the realm of relative non-existence, which is potentiality. This potentiality is referred to by quantumists, they call it unified field, and it is also referred to zero level, and it's they're very similar, and they are basically talking the same thing in different names, but they call it, and they call it also the ocean of existence. I've heard them, quantumists, they call it ocean of existence, and also in our Islamic Irfan, they call it also kind of same similar word as ocean of existence. Yani it's an ocean with existence, it emanates from there, and every creature is repels on that ocean. But don't get too much physical. That ocean is not water. That's ocean of existence. What is ocean of existence? Ocean of existence is the accumulation of the knowledge and awareness and consciousness. That's the knowledge of God. That's the knowledge that God has created. So that is called ocean of existence. Don't take your mind into a water of an ocean. It is referred to as an ocean because it's really a conglomerate of all the existence, all the knowledge, all the awareness, all the uh, uh, whatever you want to call it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which refers to or connotates the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is called ocean of existence. Similarly, we give in Islamic teaching, we use similar things and say everything else, every creature of Allah is repels on that ocean. Repels on that ocean. What does that mean? When they say repel of an ocean, that means they are emanating from the same thing. Basically, it refers to how the creation is created. Creation is created by manifestation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala onto the different universes. And this topic is, I don't want to go into that because I tend to be carried away into that talk, and that talk is a bit, that talk is a bit, it's not the right topic for tonight. So that is an independent topic. So basically, all I wanted to get at from this point to say is that the relative non-existence is the potentiality, and this material world is full of potentiality. Material world is the mix of non-existent and existent. And you may know even matter itself, what we call matter, even does not exist. The matter is only an illusion, and this is very much proved. And if you read physics and about matter, you will see, and you all know that, this is not something difficult to comprehend. You all know that an electron, which is the matter, so to say, electron in the whole molecule is 0.11111 with 9 ones. Sorry, with 1% of the total molecule. The rest of it is what? Empty space. So you can see matter is almost nothing. It's so small. It's just you cannot call it. There is a substance. But why, when I'm sitting on this chair, why I feel it? Is this not matter? Is that computer not matter? It is matter. But what holds it together, what holds it so that I can sit on it, is because electrons, they both have they both have positive charge, and they are full of electrons. This chair is full of electrons. It's all made of electrons and molecules with electrons. And my body is the same. So when I'm sitting on this, these electrons, because are having the same polarity, they repel themselves. When they repel themselves, they create a force. So because of the number of them, that force is strong. So when I'm sitting on this chair, I'm basically what I feel under me is not. I don't touch the table, this chair at all. I'm only touching that force of the electrons which are repelling me. I don't know if I'm making sense or not. It makes sense for me. I understand what I'm telling. All I'm trying to tell you, you don't need to think about the technicality of it. Is separately, you can go and study that. I'm telling you, matter is an illusion. Matter does not exist. What you feel as matter is so solidly, this solid is repulsion of the force of repulsion of electrons, which gives that force. And when you touch it, you're not touching the wall. I'm not touching the wall. I am touching the repulsive force of the electrons, right? So I just want to conclude from that, and I'm not talking physics. I want to conclude from that matter is really a kind of Adam, is kind of in existence, kind of non-existence. So in this level of material world, with the material world being like that, so it is only this matter, this world is full of potentiality. And with this very matter, we are able to actualize our soul. And when we actualize the soul, we are expanding. We are expanding our soul. You say 3 salawats for yourself so that I refresh my talk. Salawat done. So as I said, matter is full of potentiality. And if you go one level above not physically, ranking wise, when you go one level above matter, is called in what quantum is called unified field. In Islamic Irfan, they call it Hayulaya Ula, means pure potentiality. There is no actuality. And when that from that pure potentiality, something drifts into actuality, let's say like seed of a fruit, right? Seed of a fruit has very little actuality, but all the tree, all the leaves and the branches and the flower of the tree blossoms and the taste and the color and everything of that fruit that comes one after another for several years, these are all in the realm of potentiality, and they all grow from that seed. So we are in the realm of potentiality. So now, having making this understood, now I want to talk about. I hope you understood. I want to talk about the existence itself. This was about non-existence. What is existence? Existence in phonic uh, uh, in earphonic terminology is referred to pure existence. Remember, pure existence. Pure existence is the collection and collection as well as accumulation of all the good attributes, all the best attributes that is possible to imagine, with the infinite intensity together. When they are put together, that is called wujud. That is the pure wujud. And who has got that pure wujud belongs to who? Pure wujud is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in that pure wujud, which is the infinity or an infinite intensity of all the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is for Allah and is the Allah. And then when Allah uh, creates the creation, he manifests down, he descends from that low level in sorry, from that high level. In Farsi we used to read very in childhood, یکی بود یکی نبود غیر از خدا هیچ کس نبود. There was only one God, and there was only one. There was no one, and there was only one, and that one was God. Basically, this is referring to the status. Remember, we are not talking about time. We are talking about the status. This refers to the status of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala in the highest level before any manifestation. But from there, He manifests down to Alam Asma. So Alam Asma is less, there is less unity, more diversity, because before that in the higher alam is all unity and it's only one. Everything is so intermingled that you cannot separate asma from zat, right? That's where Imam Ali alayhi salam in that Khutbah Nahj Balagha refers to that. I can't remember the Arabic, but where it says that you cannot even attribute the attributes of God, the names of God to the Zat. That's the level after it has been manifested. So from Alam Asma manifestation comes to Alam Agh, from manifestation of Alam Agh comes to Alam imaginal level or Alam Barzakh, descending Barzakh, not ascending. Ascending Barzakh is when we die to go, we go. And then it manifests down to material world. So this hierarchy of manifestation, what happens? It goes like this. What it means? I'm showing this means on top is pure unity. Is pure unity as is only one dot. Let's say let's assume Big Bang. Of course, I'm not talking about Big Bang. Let's assume Big Bang. It's only one little dot, which is that in the unity. But when it explodes, when it opens up, what happens? So it comes to Alam Aq. In Alam Asma, there is more diversity. It comes to Alam Aq, there is more diversity. It comes to Alam Khiyal, it's even more diversity. When it comes to material world, it's full of diversity, right? So now those Asma of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which have been manifested to the rest of the lower worlds, lower universes, these Asma are what we have to attain in our wujud. If you are able to attain those asma in our wujud, yani become generous, become forgiving, become compassionate, become merciful, and all those asma that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, we attain that, we take that to our soul and we practice them, so that is when we are doing Etisaa to our soul. Etisaa, an expansion of the soul, happens like this. Otherwise, if we do not do that, so we remain as it is, as we are. I mean, so knowledge, gaining knowledge, and as well as attaining attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this world of potentiality, we are given all the potentiality so that we are able to expand our soul. And once you are expanding our soul, every day becomes Tasua. So that day was Tasua of Imam Hussein. So if you are able, or every day that we are working on those lines, that is our Tasua. So we all have Tasua. It's not only particular to Imam Hussein. Tasua in the meaning of expansion of the soul must be our every day must be the day of Tasua for us. But I tell you later on, and probably tomorrow, that Ashura has the same thing. We have to have our day of Ashura. And remember, Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam was the utmost, he was the person who in his time manifested the utmost love and utmost, he was in the fullest Etisaa that is possible, the fullest expansion of the soul. That's why they could do that. That's why Imam Hussein manifested the highest ever thing that was, which is called love. And you know that when it is talked about the manifestation, when it's talked about the creation of by God, God has in Orafa they call it the first, after the first manifestation was by what they call it Faiz Aqdas. But I give it a different name. I call that, I say it was love. Faiz Aqdas is love to me. I understand it is the love that has created the whole creation. That's why the whole creation is so nicely bound to each other, and that's the attraction of love which keeps everything together. So that is a different topic. But what I want to say is, bring you to this hadith which says أن لقتل الحسين عليه السلام حرارة في قلوب المؤمنين لا تبرد أبدا. Why is that? Why in this particular is only Imam Hussein that in his qad there is حرارة في قلوب المؤمنين, that it never it becomes cold, and it's not in the qatl, although the word the sentence is "Innal qatl Hussein," but because qatl Hussein was the way it was done, it was the love of Imam Hussein was manifested in that qatl, and love has got the higher vibration and frequency. Those of you who know about frequency and about, the whole creation, the whole world is creation, is frequency and vibration, and that and vibration carries information, as well as it carries information and as well as energy. So that energy that Imam Hussein created by manifesting the love, which was the highest level of love that ever possible for a human being. He manifested that, and that created such an energy that would never end. And it every year, and even throughout the year, not only in the Muharram or Ashura Tasua, every year is in the heart of the moment, it is there. Why only in the heart of moment? Because based on of law of vibration, or some people call it the law of attraction, which are different slightly, but law of vibration or law of attraction, it, uh, you only attract the like, the similar vibration that you have. Moment, because have got the same vibration, attracts the vibration of love of Imam Hussein. But somebody who is not in those line, he doesn't. I mean, he cannot attract the vibration of the love of Imam Hussein. So for that vibration, for that love, we say the أن قتل الحسين عليه السلام حرارة في قلوب المؤمنين لا تبرد أبدا. And that vibration and that energy is always with us and with Mu'min. Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I end up today's talk, and inshallah, we go to because some people have just joined for that collective dua, as I said. If you are kind enough to stay to just few short, probably 10 minutes of collective dua for my sister and cousin, inshallah, may Allah give you a lot of blessing for that. So I tell you what to do. Number one, I have to show you the picture of these two ladies, because the picture is important. You see the pictures so that you can visualize about them, what to do, right? Just hold on a second. So as you see, this one is called, the one that my cursor is showing is called Sayyede Parvin Sadat Bassam Tabar, which is my sister. And this one is called Sayyede Mitra Bassam Tabar, which is my cousin from my father's side. So they both have are infected with corona. I want you to look at the photos for about 20 seconds so that you can visualize, and then I tell you what to do next.
Amu, we can only see one photo.
You can only see one photo.
Yes.
What about now this? Are you seeing the second one?
Maybe you might have to zoom out.
Okay, let me see. Are you seeing still one photo?
Yes. Maybe the zoom out button on the left might maybe bring
So
up
you're seeing
too.
photo. I show you the second one. So this is photo of my sister, Parvin. Just remember,
Okay.
remember that. Now I show you the second one. Sorry, I'm keep waiting you. Do you see the other one now or not?
Yes, we can see it.
This is called Mitra Bassam Tabar, okay? All right? You're done with this part?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second, please. I have to bring the next thing. Are you seeing my share? Am I sharing this, what you see or not?
You're still sharing the photo with us, yeah.
Oh, it's still the photo, okay. Sorry, guys. You know, it's not like when I'm doing things from home, it's not like when I was doing it from Hosseini, I had a lot of helpers there. Hmm. Okay, let me, now I found it. Right, where was it? So what do you do? What do you see here?
Is it Dua Tawassul?
Yes, I want you together we read Dua Tawassul, but quickly, okay? Shall we start?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when we start, when we read it, keep your energy and thought towards this two lady, okay? Let's start. Brother Adnan, thank you very much. And Hanin, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Maulana. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, shifa. Inshallah, we recite together.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك ما أتوجه إليك بنبيك النبي الرحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله يا إمام الرحمة يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله يا اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله. Please try use your heart, using your heart and saying it from your heart. What happened? It just went. So I read the rest. I can't see the rest of it. It's here. It's faded. I read it from my tablet, and you can hear me anyway. Okay. I don't want. All right. Shall I go ahead?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, you are ready.
يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا قرة عين الرسول يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفي لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباغر يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها القاسم يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله يا إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الهادي التقي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وسي الحسن والخلف الحجة أيها القائم المنتظر يا ابن رسول المنتظر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا سادتي وموالي إني توجهت بكم أئمتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله وتوسلت بك إلى الله واستشفعت بكم إلى الله فاشفعوني عند الله واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله وبحبكم وبغربكم أرجو نجاة من الله فكونوا عند الله الرجاء يا سادتي يا أولياء الله صلى الله عليهم أجمعين ولعن الله أعداء الله ظالميهم من الأولين والآخرين آمين رب العالمين. And now please what I want you to do, please close your eyes for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, maximum 3 minutes. I hold on the time and just visualize these two ladies that they are good, they have been cured, they have been healed. And remember this dua that you read is if you read it, you have to we have should have no doubt that it's been granted because Ud'uni astajib lakum, and we have brought so many great people in front of Allah and ask him for the sake of these people to give shafa, and we are given shafa definitely. The shafa is now is in alam malakut. Every dua is granted immediately with no doubt in the alam malakut. And now we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we visualize that they are good, and start 2 minutes. I tell you what to do. Go 2 minutes, close your eyes, visualize these two ladies are good, they are all happy and smiling and laughing and things like that. See them happy. So the 2 minutes is over. What I want you to do now, please, we have to, thanking God is the signature, that yes, we have received, we have got the shafa. That's the signature. So we have to thank God 70 times. We say it together. Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr. Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr. Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr. From the bottom of your heart, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr. Alhamdulillah, 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 Alhamdulillah. Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr. Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr, Ilahi shukr. Alhamdulillah, 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 Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, 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 Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, 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 Alhamdulillah for the Shafa. Alhamdulillah for the Shafa you gave us. Alhamdulillah for the Shafa you gave us. Alhamdulillah for the Shafa you gave us. Alhamdulillah for the Shafa you gave to these two ladies. Alhamdulillah, Allah, you heard us, I gave Shafa. Alhamdulillah, Allah, you heard and you gave us Shafa. Alhamdulillah, Allah, you heard and gave the Shafa. Alhamdulillah, you heard and gave them Shafa. Alhamdulillah that you heard and you gave the Shafa. Alhamdulillah, you heard and you gave the Shafa. And just 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, talk to God, love, talk to God, love, and give that love towards these two. This last part is very important. You have to send them a lot of love. And we talk to God about the love and we send the love intended towards them. This is the last and very short. Oh Allah, I love you. I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you, Allah. I love you, Allah. I love you, Allah. Oh Allah, I love you. 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 Oh Allah, you are so kind. I love you. Oh Allah, you are so kind. I love you. Oh Allah, 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 you're so kind. I love you. Oh Allah, you're so kind. We love you. Oh Allah, we love you. Oh Allah, we love you. Oh Allah, you are so kind. We love you. Oh Allah, you are so kind. We love you. Oh Allah, 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 we send this love towards these two ladies. Oh Allah, send our loves towards this lady, two ladies, and our collective energy goes to where it should go and heals them. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. Really, it was very kind of you that you spent this time and you gave your precious time to do dua for these two lady, and it was very kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If anyone wants to go, definitely go. And if anyone wants to ask any question regarding my talk, I'm more than happy to answer the talk. I wait for a couple of minutes to make sure there is no question, and then we will disperse. If anyone wants to go and don't wait, you don't have to wait. Go. Okay. So let me see. Thank you very much, Dr. Adnan, to join. Let me see.
في أمان الله.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adnan. Thank you. Thank you, Nabil. Nabil, you had gone for dinner when we asked for introduction. That's fine.